What's good, everybody? It's your boy Prince from Holy Reacts. You already know, not Holy Reacts, Holy Lives. You already know. You know I be forgetting my name. You know, fuck it. My name Prince. You already know. I'm back in this bitch. We're gonna get to the YouTube shit. Let's do it. Let's see what I want to watch. I saw some shit like this. Why is it? It's got to be racist. It's got to be some racism.
For my business because it's massive.
There's got to be some racism in this bitch.
Freedom.
Like, it's got to be some racist shit in this bitch, bro. Let's be real. What do black people think about white people? All I could think about is some racist shit. I'm telling you. Like, I'm telling you, bro. The title, bro.
Between our subcultures.
Bro, the title says it all, bro. Look at the title. Like, I'm already thinking it's gonna be some racist shit. It's gonna be before we watch it. It's gonna be a lot of red faces. A lot of them white motherfuckers gonna turn red. A lot of black people gonna be like, what? I'm telling you, I'm already knowing.
I like
I'm be like,
reality is
nigga,
kind
what?
of mixed because
Feel me?
like, from the age of like
But
13
nah, these niggas is not nigga enough. Look at this, bro. He is no way near nigga enough. She, come on, bro. The shoes, the hat, bucket hat with a jean skirt. Come on, man. He looked like his parents was white, bro.
I really started to
I need to get some real niggas in this shit, man.
From that, I really learned a lot. Like, I really got the American like mentality.
How the fuck I
more.
get all the way up here? All right, boom.
I went to a school that was predominantly black when I was growing up.
Okay.
And when I first saw the first white
Bro.
kid, I was like, what is that? You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, how the fuck we get this from? Man, she got a booty on her. Oh my God. Oh my God. With a smile like that, I would keep it closed, man. Boy. She got a smile only a mother could love. I'm telling you, man. Sheesh, boy. Boy. Get a little money. Fix your teeth, man. That's all you gotta do.
I act differently around people who aren't my race. 3, 2, 1.
She pretty, but until she smile.
I think the most important thing is
Bro,
just
get your lying. Bro, you're a liar. You're a liar. Lying ass nigga. You? Yeah, I believe her.
be yourself, and I don't think being around people who don't look like you should be a reason for you to act any different.
Yeah, for me, I guess it's like within the confines of like the workforce.
I was thinking code switching.
Because if you show up to a meeting talking like this, they're like, uneducated, got it. They'll use the slang to sell the products and to tweet and to get the clicks and stuff, but like as soon as a worker's there who's authentically from the area and talking like people from the area, it's like, ooh, we don't like that. You know, because it's always like, well, be yourself until you yourself. And then it's like, ooh, I don't like yourself. Unfortunately.
Yeah, you gotta code switch, bro. You see a nigga like me, I could code switch easy. That's why I cut my hair. So I can be like, what the fuck you say, nigga? And then change to be like, hello, sir, my name is Prince. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they grew the beard out. I look more sophisticated and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to code switch as a black man. If you can't, you stuck, bro. You can't look too niggerish and you can't look too white because you're going to look soft. Look at this nigga. He looks soft. He look like he ain't win a fight his whole life. You know what I'm saying? At least the hair a little nappy, but come on. You know what I'm saying? He's just able to code switch. He probably wonderful code switcher. But me, I'm a great code switcher, nigga. You never know with me, boy.
Unfortunately,
in
a lot of the areas of work, it's like you almost have to like lie to these people to be like, I'm a robot. I'll like, you know, I love your company. Yeah. You know, it's sick. It's sick.
Bro, this nigga
like,
is flamboyant as fuck.
Like, I feel like code switching is one part, but also like there's certain parts in my own community that aren't accepted, that when I'm around different people that look like me, I can express myself differently. Like, I feel like if I talk a little.
None of these niggas grew up in the hood, bro. I'm gonna just say that. Nobody there grew up in the hood, bro.
Proper, sometimes I get a little slack for it from my side of the family, but when I go out into the world, sometimes I like EDC. I like tech music. I like, you know what I'm saying?
See, for me, I feel like it has nothing
We
to do
could
with
tell.
Or has to do with just being professional. Like if I'm at work, then I'm obviously
Is every nigga in here gay? Am I Am I tripping?
going to be a little more proper, you know, a little bit less slang and all of that, and just more careful with my rhetoric. But I don't think it has to do with race. The only thing I will say is, like, I work in political media, so I'm on camera a lot. So people already know who I am and what I'm coming with. But that being said, it's like when I'm around other black people, because I'm a Republican, sometimes they tend to be really standoffish with me or think that I don't understand the culture.
Because you're a Republican. Niggas are standoffish from you because you're a Republican. Who the fuck gives a fuck if you a Republican? I don't know if you're a fucking
Culture and all this different stuff. So sometimes I have to feel it out like, are these people who are just gonna call me an Uncle Tom, or are these people like I can actually just keep it all the way real with? So that's the only time I feel like I act different because of race.
You know, I also work in political
Bro, you're just a lame.
media,
Just keep it
but
real.
as a leftist, and I honestly feel like I've definitely benefited from being able to be in spaces where I've been able to be authentically myself, and I definitely think that's a privilege, especially where I like grew up is just like something that's regularly happening that people have to go through. But personally, I think I've been able to, especially now in a business side and now my new workplace, I feel like I don't have to adapt my language to make people like respect me or understand where I'm trying to come from, you know?
At what point is it like, damn, we can't even really have conversations without buttoning up and being like, oh, this is how we have to talk like this, so they'll listen, or like, regardless as.
He
But do you
gay,
think
but
that's
he
racial, or
pro-black.
do you think that's
I think,
just-
I don't know that it's, because I'm right, I know where you're going.
we see you, we
I
see
know,
each
I
other.
think, you know, I know exactly where he's going. I don't think it's intrinsically rooted in race, but I think just the way the social genetic makeup of people are, I think just by way of people of specific races speaking a certain way or being perceived a certain way, it tends to be more often than not rooted in.
See, at the end of the day, bro, being black, bro, walking into a building, you're not expected to be, hello, how are you? Like, you're not. So, you know, for white people and black people, it's different. It's crazy. I was about to say speech, but then I got high.
Race based off of like urban black Americans.
Yeah.
I think most people have barriers they put up when
Ooh, wee. Oh, we got a little booty on the case. If her knees wasn't bending farther than her ass cheeks, we could probably compliment her, but
they get introduced to a new group.
I'm sorry.
I went on disagree instead of strongly disagree because like there have been situations where I get introduced to a group of someone of a different race. And like, yeah, at first I'm pulled back, but once I get comfortable with them, those walls come down, and then, yeah, that's where my true self comes out.
For me, it really depends because I've been shooting music videos in the hood, so I really need to basically adopt myself to become a black person. So for me,
This
it's not a
nigga
problem.
said, how do you become black? How do you become black? Let me become white. Like, how do you become black, bro? Let me know.
Like meeting new races. I always like vibe and chill with people.
Do you think adapting yourself to those different ethnicities is like something that's required to foster like a successful relationship?
Like, I would say it's really more for your survival because, you know.
This nigga said, I gotta act black to survive. I gotta act black to survive, nigga. Bro, what
like,
the
if
fuck?
you are the only white guy on set and like there's like people with like guns and stuff, and you know, you
How do you act in that situation, white boy?
just really need to like fit in and just.
How do you fit in? How do you fit in, bro? You're white. How do you fit in, bro? Tell me how. It's a bunch of niggas in a room with guns. You basically telling me, how are you acting? I got my good dude. Like, how the fuck is you acting?
Be chill with it.
You're from the Ukraine, right? Do you feel like not having grown up with American culture as a whole, and then especially not growing up with our subcultures, Do you feel like that's influenced the way you move when you're moving between our subcultures?
My like mentality is kind of mixed because like from the age of like 13, I really started to learn English. From that, I really learned a lot. Like I really got the American like mentality more. And basically like my mentality is like mixed because like in Ukraine, if we see a black person, we call them the N-word. And from
What the fuck in Ukraine? They doing that? They still doing that in the Ukraine? That nigga shocked me.
our side, it's not offensive. Like we say it not from a offensive way, but some people can because, you know, like you don't see a black
Nigga!
person there.
I can understand that because I went to a school that was predominantly black when I was growing up. And when I first saw the first white kid, I was like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? So, like, it was a white girl with like red hair, and I was like, whoa, I've never seen this before. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I understand that, like, when a white person comes to a predominantly black group, then you're going to try your best to adapt to that, to our culture, to be like, okay, hey, I get along with you. This is my way of like, telling you, like, hey,
he's shooting
I'm
a video, a music video, bro.
So, yeah.
What
not to
the
sound
fuck
triggered,
do you
but I
have to
just
be
don't
doing
like the
besides
notion that
being
you're becoming
professional?
a black person by pretending to be hood or
No,
adopting a hood
just like
mentality,
the
because
slang.
not all black people are hood, not all black people
course.
are ghetto.
Thank you.
I understand what you're trying to say, and I don't know if it's a language barrier, so I don't want to like come at you like you're saying something racist, but I just really am anti black people being defined as ghetto and hood, because there's a lot of classy black people out there.
Yes, there's a lot of intelligent Afro-Americans out there, and it
That
really
nigga
like,
scared.
depends on
I told
like,
you, boy,
where
about to
you
turn red.
grew up in.
Also, if you are hood and ghetto like me, you can also be all those things too.
White people also experience race-based prejudice.
Since you guys probably don't know, I have lived overseas. I've lived in Asian countries. In Japan, there are certain restaurants and stuff like that that you could walk into. You can see people dining in the restaurant, and they're gonna tell you they're closed just because you're white or you're American. So the idea that white people can't really experience racism kind of contradicts the very definition of the word, because the definition of racism is prejudice based on one's skin color. White people do experience it, but to a different degree.
While I do think that our white brothers and sisters in Christ can experience racial-based prejudice, I don't want to overlook the nuance of that prejudice, because it's not necessarily rooted in anything systematic or anything that's gonna actually have long-term effects, knock on wood, that are gonna like debilitate a race or inhibit their chances or possibility of succeeding or being seen as better than POC.
I definitely think it's a non-issue, racism towards white people, especially specifically, I want to, like, in America. I don't think it's something that needs to be highlighted as an issue that is a constant threat to lives, day-to-day well-being, progress,
White
and
people are
success
racist
in
to
life
each other.
in general, because it's not something that's going to inhibit you, and you don't have to walk out your door and think, I'm about to be attacked, like people of color do every single day.
I do agree that white people haven't been put through centuries of hell like black people were, but prejudice towards white people 100% exists. Like whether it's in TV, if it's in movies, like if you watch predominantly black media, there's a lot of roasting towards white people that if it was the other way around, that would never be acceptable today. Then you go on social media like TikTok and you look up white people are bad. You will see videos where they're attacking white people for things that their ancestors did 200 years ago. There are societal benefits at this point for being a person of color, and that those negatively affect white people. Like if you look at affirmative action, diversity,
this nigga
quotas
went
in the
to
workplace,
school,
all
man.
these different things, they lower the bar for black people, but then increase the bar for white people. However, I think where some of the issue comes is because a lot of marginalized groups and people of color back in the day went through so much worse that it's easy
They
for
wouldn't
us to
get a nigga
discredit
on
the
here.
prejudice that white people now deal with today.
I think like on an individualistic level, like yeah, white people get hate all the time. But I think if you zoom out and you look at the big picture, it's a little bit different. And like talking about like YouTube having, you know, racist content for anyone out there, it's like I would have to go and seek that out versus it like coming to me. Versus like on Twitter.
Against white people?
Yeah, I would have to like look for a video being like, oh, people who hate white people.
I agree.
Like versus like Twitter, I don't have to scroll very long before I see some person making some out-of-pocket comment about
And regulation
some shit.
being lifted so people can see that even more so.
Right.
Absolutely, that's 100% right. And even saying affirmative action, statistically and on paper, white people, white
I'm glad
women
she
are
went to school
benefiting
too.
more from
Cause
the
talk to that
affirmative
nigga.
action in
He's
colleges
sticking
than
up for white
any
people.
other
We love
demographic.
white
So
people,
I
but
don't think that's fair to say. But I
you
definitely
can't
get
sit
what you
back
mean.
and be like,
again,
you know.
I think it's the prejudice is still there though.
And I will say that black people.
I understand his point. He really just trying to say white people do experience racism. At the end of the day, you can't overlook it. You know what I'm saying? Racism is, like he said, you know, dumbing it down, judging people off the skin color. You know what I'm saying? So that happens. It happens all the time from everywhere, everybody. You know what I'm saying? White people got more, you know, victory over, you know, shit with their skin color, but, you know, they still do get made fun of for being white. I make fun of this white nigga at my job all the time. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was about to go in depth. Keep this shit going.
Deal with prejudice. I think every demographic deals with prejudice. There are racist people everywhere. Like, I just don't think systemic racism is an issue anymore in today's society. But I do think that there are.
You gotta think, bro. Being black, bro, you're shitted on everywhere, even in Africa, bro. Like, you're shitted on everywhere, bro. Like, you go to China, Japan, or some shit, bro. Nigga, they look at you crazy, you black. Like, go anywhere being black, nigga. I'm telling you, they looking at you crazy because you black. White people y'all safe anywhere, nigga. And them niggas are scared of you. Bro, Japanese bitches, they won't even marry our black ass. They'll marry your ass before us.
Racist people out there.
I think that there's a really important distinction. Our language is constantly evolving, and you were talking about the definition of racism. Our societal definition has changed to include a systemic part of it. And I completely disagree with this idea that people of color don't have systemic things against them still. Because the fact that we still have the KKK, the fact that we still have these things, and they are in positions of power. As long as that exists, and as long as that's a part of our country's makeup right now, which it is, and that's our power structure, I don't feel like you can honestly deny systemic racism against the black community, which is why prejudice is so different from racism. I don't think white people can experience racism in this country, but we can experience prejudice based on the societal definitions we now use.
Being sexually unattracted.
Damn, these niggas went to school. What the fuck? Them niggas went to school.
I think where the line gets drawn is when
Hell
if
yeah.
a male was sitting there swiping and he's just like, I don't like black girls, they're all ugly. They have too big of lips. I think that's where the line gets drawn. But you can't really help what you're attracted to. Like, my fiance is Mexican, and it's like, I like him for who he is, not how he looks.
I think that we
Shut
are
your lying
conditioned
ass
to be attracted and to respond to people that we grow up and around with. So homogeneously, we grow up with people who look like us. So when you move into dating and things like that, statistically, you're going to be attracted to people that you grew up seeing, right? However, when you are discrediting a certain race for whatever reason based off their ethnicity, meaning everybody who did exist, is existing, and will exist from that race, you are not feeling anything. Cute, I don't control your body or your thoughts, but on one hand, I'm like, let's maybe unpack that. Also, where's my camera? To all the girls that's putting this in their bios, that's none of our business. Stop doing that. Keep that to yourself. We don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear it.
For me, I think that, like, we're talking about conditioning and how we grew up.
That
right?
nigga too
If you go to,
flamboyant.
like, South Africa, for instance, which within some of our lifetimes had apartheid. If you grow up in that, especially as a black person, where you're constantly being mistreated by every single white person,
Finally, she's
and you're
standing for
conditioned
us.
to be like, white person, no thank you, I don't think that's racist.
I agree, and I did not grow up in South Africa with apartheid.
Yeah.
However, like I said,
used it
the
in
nickname
extreme.
of my town was Clancy. Like, a lot of my interactions growing up were incredibly racist, and I'm dating a white guy. So I totally get what you mean. I don't want to discredit black people or anyone who's had those kind of situations, because it's not that they're not dating white people.
Bro,
It's
what does
definitely,
Ukraine
it's
niggas
more
say?
like they're cautious.
I think you used the perfect word earlier. Is it conditioned or?
scared, Potter.
You wish.
I told you Ukraine different! Hell yeah.
I was
Stop
thinking
being
about
stupid.
it on the terms of me being a black woman. I feel like it's a lot different when it is a black woman going into dating someone that is not of their race. I can tell you from my experience with dating Hispanic men, white, whatever, they've only seen Jerry Springer and Maury. So it's like they have a whole different idea of what a black woman is. Like before my husband changed a lot, one of the comments made to me was he was afraid of me going to his house with braids in my hair, because then they would assume that I was a different kind of girl instead of looking at me for who I am.
I have been denied access because of my race.
Damn.
I can go anywhere, I can sit down anywhere, and I am not going to be denied because of how I look. And I would be ignorant to not admit that.
And I'm gonna counter that with we are justifiably not let into spaces. And our whiteness takes away access to things like powwows. And there's an island in Hawaii that's only for natives or for like safe spaces for black communities or whatever else. We are justifiably denied access because of our skin.
Period. We love the nuance.
The thing about Hawaii, though,
Bitch, shut
Hawaii is
up,
still-
bro. That bitch. Okay, she was speaking shit, but now she talking too much. You talking too much. We are denied. Bitch, no, you're not. Shut the fuck up. If native, bro, they can go, I can't go. I'm not a native. Bitch, you're speaking stupid. Black safe places? Bitch, you think we gonna deny a what?
land.
Get out of here.
I believe that they have every right to be able to say only we're allowed to go here, because that
Justifiably.
was theirs. It was literally stolen land that was stolen by white people.
Yes. No, but that's why it's justifiably, it's still denied access.
Yeah.
But it is justifiable, 100%. Don't
Yeah,
let me
it's
in.
denied access, but it's justifiable. But it's like in my own day-to-day life, I could go anywhere. I can sit down anywhere. I can go read a book in a library. I can go to Starbucks. People don't fear me because of how I look, and so they don't feel the need to be like, you can't be here.
But like in your day-to-day life, are you being denied access? Like, are you trying to go to that island that they
No.
won't let you? Okay.
Then I think that's a really good question. Has it happened? I guess. Because, like,
would
are you
say
seeking
yeah.
those spaces then?
I'm not necessarily seeking them. If I am already aware that this is like, hey, this is for us, not for you. I'm not gonna show up and be like, yeah, but like, I'm a cool white person. But there are spaces that we are not allowed, and I think that's okay.
No, it is okay. But if you're not actively seeking to be part of those circles, you're not being denied access to them.
I will agree with that.
Sure, and I can say that maybe those are.
Bitch,
not
always
the
trying to be
examples,
on
like,
some
I think
opposite
especially
shit,
because
bitch.
my
I keep
social
saying the B
circles
word.
are predominantly people of color.
Women.
There are definitely things where they're like, where I've had them be like, this is not a conversation for you, and I'm like, okay. I have had those experiences. I'm okay with them. I want to be clear. Like, I think there should be spaces that aren't for me, and that is okay. But they've existed and they've been in my life.
I have just one really specific example. Otherwise, I feel like in general, I'm not denied access because of my race, just in my experience. But I had an ex whose stepfather was wildly racist, like Nazi memorabilia, like just insane individual. And I was never allowed over her house because of him. And the one time that I kind of snuck in, he was staring at me through the window. And I'll never forget that in my life, the way that man was staring at me through the window and then cursed out his kids for having me in the house. That man's now in prison for doing God knows what, but it's where he belongs.
I was looking for funding for my film, and most of them are for colored people, and I totally understand that. And there is like not many that I found that are for like everybody. My mind would be like, you know, damn, I cannot do it. Like I cannot apply to it. But from the other side, I understand that the black community, like you guys need to get your movies out there.
If anything, I feel like I've been invited too much. You know, I feel like I'm kind of like an undercover agent where I'm like, Like, because I talk a certain way or because I present myself a certain way, they assume like, oh, I could say this in front of you.
100%.
And I'm like, what do you say?
Exactly.
Token, you know, I've never really been.
Now, I'll say that too. I've been tokenized so many times.
I'm like, I don't want
we
that.
have to have you here. We need young black representation. And I'm like, yes, I'm gonna stay home.
Yeah.
I am proud of my race. 3, 2, 1.
I will go first, and I will stand 10 toes in.
I was just being ironic to
I
stand over
think-
there.
Okay, baby. I was like, please no. I was here. I cried a little bit.
I'm
I
being
think
messy.
that, like, and I'll just keep it specific to my experience of what I know. As Black Americans, we're pretty much the top culture that gets replicated, referenced. People scoot in and scoot out because they want to seem cool and interesting and stuff. And I think that that's so controversial.
I'm black,
kind of
nigga.
like
I'm black.
Be beaten down for so long.
I
and
made
be kind of
it.
separated from our African roots.
Yes,
create
nigga.
names for
I
ourselves,
made it.
culture, language around our identity.
I can say
as Black
nigga.
Americans and have that be a thing that's just reverberating across the globe. I think that's so cute. Can never be replicated, can never be understated, and I love that about it.
That was kind of the start of my like thought process too, like just the basis of being torn down so adamantly, so regularly for hundreds of years in law even, like it is insane that we are here today to even be on camera, to even be in a place with other white people. Like it is a beautiful thing that we have been able to flourish in such dirt, like literal filth and grime that our ancestors had to go through and even our grandparents had to go through. Like in my 8th grade yearbook I saw recently, it said like the South will rise again. Like, and this was 2015. So like this is such a day-to-day thing, and I am proud to be black, and it's hard to say that. Like it was hard to say that as a kid, like, or else I could be called the N-word, I could be reprimanded, and
Yeah,
I
niggas
feel
making
so
fun of
blessed
me.
to be able to think that.
Everybody needs to be proud of their race.
Niggas was
and
telling me I was supposed to
stop
be a
this,
football
like,
player.
racist bullshit, because
I'm like, what the fuck?
like you could be green, red, black, white, Hispanic, like it doesn't matter.
I agree with like what you're saying, because my own personal belief is that at the basis of who we are is that we're all just people. We're not a skin tone. But because of those before me, I now have to fight back against the idea that all white people are racist. I
remember, you know, my teacher, she said, you know, this is when Michael Vick just got locked up, right? So my teacher, she was like, yo, you're gonna be just like Michael Vick. You know, I'm like, bitch, you ain't never seen me throw a football in your life. What the fuck does this mean? And this nigga just got locked up for fighting dogs. I'm like, bitch. I know this bitch did not say that to me, man. Hey, if it ain't racist, it ain't racist.
being in 4th grade and learning about the Holocaust for the first time and saying, I don't want to be German anymore. Meanwhile, my mother's whole family is German. American history, you look at things like slavery. You look at things
Damn,
like...
bitch. Our family terrible. Her family is... Bro, her family was killing Jews, and the other side was killing niggas. Bro. Your ancestors was burning shit, bro.
Jim Crow laws, segregation.
No
There is so much
wonder.
awful stuff that has happened and is still happening in closeted ways that I cannot be proud of the way that I look.
Yeah, for me, like, I am proud of who I am, like who I grew up to be. Like, I like who I am.
Bro, who is this Spider-Man that want to be Batman ass nigga? I know. Bro, I'm in the way, bro. Who is this Spider-Man want to be Batman ass nigga, bro? Who is this nigga, bro? I swear, bro. Word
But
too.
like, if I were to say I'm a proud white man, like, I don't even know what that means. Like, there have been 0 racial hurdles in my life. Now, like, I'm a proud gay man because, like,
Ah! I just knew he was gay, bro. That's it. On there. Gay, bro. Ain't too much, man. Am I a proud gay man? Am I a gay man? We love gay people too. We love white people and gay people.
and, you know, even to that point, so much of queer culture comes from black culture. So, thank you.
You're welcome.
What
is that even? What is that even?
I've done, the people who I've touched, whose hearts I've opened up. I feel like it's beyond our race. I feel like what it is our experiences that make our light shine through. So that's what I'm proud of, actually. Yeah.
I think
Bitch, get on
that there's a
strongly
really
agree.
big difference between being proud to be black and being proud to be white. So being proud of your culture, beautiful thing. Like, be proud to be Ukrainian. I'm proud to be Slavic. The black community is different, and the reason it's different is because their culture, specifically Black Americans, their culture was stripped away from them when they were brought over here.
I wonder where
So
her hair
then the
look
culture became being Black American. The race became cultural.
Bro, this bitch be explaining the world to you, bro. Bitch, I just want to know, why the fuck is you not proud to be white? Like, so, you black people, it's not really being black. It's just, you're just like, bitch, shut up. Talk too
I
much.
mixed that up.
So
Sorry about the hate.
yeah, but
Yeah.
so I think that there's a really big difference between I am proud of my people are Slavic, versus I am proud of my race. It just gets convoluted because Black Americans, the race has become the culture because the culture was stripped away.
I also think oftentimes when you talk about white pride versus black pride, oftentimes black pride is rooted in love and perseverance of culture, customs, language, and things like that, and white pride is often rooted in black hate, Latin hate, Asian hate. So I think that's an interesting nuance to not overlook.
No, and I think that's such an important point. I think there's a difference between I'm proud and therefore I'm better versus I am proud of what we have overcome.
Yeah, and then the whole idea of white pride started with people who think the Confederate flag is a personality trait. So how can I be proud of that?
I'm not saying that this applies to any of you, but I meet a lot of white people, particularly white liberals, who will actively say that they're ashamed of being white. And that is wild to me, because how can you look at your past and because, yes, your race did terrible things in the past, but you shouldn't define yourself as that. If anything, you should look at that and reflect.
I would have, bro, if I was white, green, blue, nigga, I would have said, I'm proud, nigga. The fuck? What's wrong with y'all niggas, bro? Y'all love black people too much, man. God damn. Nigga, us niggas got them blackwashed.
Should be proud to be.
I swear.
See, I think that's a really
Bro, that bitch, if she could be
nuanced
black,
question,
she'll
because
choose
I
to be
think you
black,
said
bro.
the
All of
valid
them
point
would
of
choose to be
ethnicity
black.
is different because white isn't a collective culture in the way that black is, because black people have been grouped together and have a similar experience. But white, Italian American, you should definitely be proud of being Italian American. You should be proud of being Slavic American. You should be proud of your lineage. But just to say, oh, I'm proud to be white, yeah, that has a weird connotation to it because it's not a collective culture. But what I really want to emphasize is that you should not be ashamed of being white in the way that a lot of people are.
Yeah.
Or maybe you should.
Okay.
That one is on you.
Bro, I swear them niggas would love to be black, bro. I swear to. All right, let's get to the shit, man. Let me fit this shit for real. I already know. Fuck, I really don't fuck with bitches, man. I really don't. You really